Konnichiwa, friends. I am Sekai X Arts and Animations, and I am back. I've taken a long hiatus for reasons I'll get into in a minute, but today I'm doing some character designs. As any of you who've been following me for a while know, I do mostly creative writing and then drawings and character designs for those worlds I dream up. The stories I write can be in a lot of different mediums, ranging from books to video games to comics to movies to TV shows, etc. Today, I want to do a few character designs from a slightly newer video game idea I had called the Fairy Tale Commune. In all of my years of writing, I've always wanted to do an AFK RPG style game, but I could never decide on the characters. I could do the magical girls and boys, fairies, and villains from my comic/TV series idea Solis, which I've talked about on this channel before, but that just didn't seem right, as I wanted the game to have its own lore and the Solis character's own complicated universe just wouldn't mesh well with something new that I made up for the game. Plus, anything I did in the game would then have to be non-canonical to the Solis universe, which I just felt was a lot less fun. I also had an idea that was inspired by Genshin Impact that I thought might work, but then I decided that that idea would be best suited to a format actually more similar to Genshin's playstyle, and so that became its own game entirely, currently under the working title of Minimal Genesis. Great game idea, I think it'd be really fun, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we are talking about my game The Fairy Tale Commune, inspired by idle RPGs like AFK Arena. I have always had some fun ideas for twists on classic fairy tales, but I didn't think they'd ever be able to be stretched out into a full-length film or show, so they mostly just stayed up in the corner collecting dust, until this project. Now every fairy tale can have its own lore in this world, and I don't have to have them take up the entire plot. They can just be a piece of it. The characters come from two generations, the fairy tales we all know and love, and then the idea that a lot of people like to play with about their children. I know this might sound cliche, but I think it allows me to do a lot of really fun things. For example, the group of playable characters within the Snow White story include Snow White, of course, Rose Red, and my own OC, Crystal Blue, who is the son of the evil queen and the magic mirror. He is actually a really fun character. He is in love with Cinderella and Prince Charming's daughter, Ember, but believes that she belongs to a good, heroic prince and not a villain like him. Their dynamic is actually really cute. I've done a lot of fun things with characters like this, like for example, The Little Mermaid, I've switched it out to be a siren prince falling in love with a pirate princess, and lots of other fun stuff, but that's not who we're designing today. Today, we're designing the characters from the Wonderland branch of the game, beginning with Amora, the Queen of Hearts. I wanted her to have a very regal design, and of course incorporated a lot of heart motifs in place of her shirt, embroidery, and jewels, and also gave her a layer of dress made of rose-shaped ruffles for painting the roses red. In terms of story, in the world of the Fairy Tale Commune, Wonderland is divided into kingdoms, one for each suit: diamonds, clubs, spades, and hearts. Looking Glass Land with the red and white queen is a separate world with a separate story. Anyways, in Wonderland, the world calls for its new rulers not by the typical handing down of the throne generationally, but by them falling down the rabbit hole. One is only qualified to be a ruler if they have so much magic, though. The Queen of Hearts fell down the rabbit hole a few years ago, back when the Heart Kingdom was in ruins and was met by the Mad Hatter, who offered to guide her to the Heart Kingdom because the rabbit hole is the portal into Wonderland and the only portal out is in the gate in the ruins of the Heart Castle. Throughout their journey together, Amora and the Hatter end up falling in love, and Amora ends up choosing to stay and becomes the newest Queen of Hearts. Years later, the Heart Kingdom is strong. However, there's another side to this. Amora has the Hatter watch the rabbit hole, and anytime someone falls down into Wonderland, he is to use his looks and wit to charm them into coming to the Heart Castle, which the Hatter hates to do because he loves Amora and only wants to show affection to her, but anyways, he guides the alleged next ruler to the Heart Castle, and Amora offers to open the gate home to them in exchange for all of the newcomers' magic, claiming that it won't cost them anything since magic only works in Wonderland and they want to leave. This has allowed Amora to protect her spot as the Queen of Hearts, and she has ended up amassing a ton of magic, becoming perhaps the most powerful Queen of Hearts in history. As a villain-type character, I wanted the Queen of Hearts to be beautiful but proud, dressing her elegantly but lavishly. I imagine in this game there are a bunch of factions, just like in AFK Arena, which right now are royal, characters who are royal, duh, adventurers, who are non-royal fairy tale characters, creatures, which are non-human characters, villains. It becomes really hard to make factions when some characters are both royal and villains, or creatures, or whatever. Oops. And also magician faction, which are things like fairies and wizards. I may add more factions later on, this is just in the early stages. In addition to factions, there are also classes, which determine what kind of damage or role the character plays. There's Mage class, which deals magic damage, Swordsman who does slicing damage, Archers who do ranged damage, Paladins who do shielding, Soldiers who deal piercing damage with a spear, Warriors who deal bludgeoning damage, probably with like an axe or something, and a Bard class who delivers buffs. It's a little bit complicated, but I'll work it out. For Amora, I imagine her as either a royal or villain faction character, probably villain, who is a mage who deals magic damage via the giant heart crystal catalyst behind her here, which is also where I imagine she canonically stores the magic that she has stolen from other potential heirs. Let me know what you think of her down below. Alrighty, next we have Alice. Now, in light of my story above, Alice is a girl who fell down the rabbit hole, and unlike the other potential heirs, she does not want to give up her magic to Amora, leading the Queen of Hearts to see her as a threat, and now Alice is fighting to keep her magic. I wanted her to have a very different color palette from the well-known Disney version, so I gave her reddish brown hair and a purple dress. Her quote-unquote weapons are her eat me cookie and drink me soda, and she is an adventurer faction who probably is also a mage class. This is a fairly different art style from what I normally do, but I was really having fun with this more, I don't know, storybook-esque illustration. I don't know quite what to call it. It looks more fairy-tale-ish to me than my usual realistic anime style. Now, I know this video is a deviation from what I've been talking about lately. I took a long hiatus from posting for, number one, life in school. It got really busy. And secondly, more importantly, I've been focusing on a long-term project. Before, I said I wanted to do my own comic series solely, but I've settled on a smaller project and I've started working on a short film with some friends along with some amazing people I've met through reaching out via these videos. We have finished most of the scripting and character designing and have moved on to the storyboarding phase, which is really exciting. I'm so proud of everyone I'm working with. They're all such amazing artists, and I can't wait to see how the Lord continues to bless us. If I yap about Bonfire right now, we'll be here all day, so I'll save that for another video, but I just wanted you all to know that that is in the works. Alrighty, as I'm finishing up here, I do want to mention a few other side things. Number one, a lot of what I draw is character designs, and to get the best view of that character possible, the poses are really boring. The character is standing stock still, facing forward. This lack of interesting poses has kept me from posting as often, so I was curious if any of you would be interested in seeing me designing characters, even if they're all in the same pose for the sake of ease. Let me know in the comments. Also, secondly, I started an Instagram account for this channel to post pictures and sketches and stuff that may or may not show up on the channel here, so I'll link that down in the description, and do check that out if you're interested. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Like I mentioned in the video, I'm a 19-year-old writer/artist developing a company with my first project being a short film called Bonfire. I'm looking for passionate collaborators and creatives, writers, colorists, animators, editors, character designers, etc. who want to help build something beautiful. This isn't paid yet, but I believe in the world that we're creating, so if you're a small creative like me, looking for a project to pour your heart into, please reach out. If not, that's okay. I really appreciate you just watching. If you haven't seen my video talking about all of this, please check it out. Please consider liking and subscribing to follow the journey, and I will see you all in the next one.